Hey, Golden State Warriors fans. Today we're diving deep into a game that left a lot of us scratching our heads and feeling that familiar sting of heartbreak. It was one of those contests where every moment counted, where a single shot or a turnover could flip the outcome, and unfortunately, it didn't fall in the Warriors' favor this time. They fought with intensity, clawing their way back from behind, showing flashes of the resilience that has defined this team for years. But in the end, the scoreboard just didn't reflect all the effort that went into it. There were bright spots, there were frustrating moments, and there were lessons that the team needs to carry forward as they push through the season. One of the first things that stood out in this matchup was the Warriors' ability to keep turnovers in the single digits. For a team that has struggled with careless mistakes and costly miscues in the past, that's a step in the right direction. It shows discipline and focus. And when you see those numbers, it gives hope that the team can build on this foundation. Yet, keeping turnovers low is only part of the battle. You also need to capitalize on the opportunities that arise when the other team slips up, and that's where the Warriors fell short. The game had moments where a simple basket off a defensive play could have swung momentum, but those chances slipped through their fingers, leaving a lingering frustration that's hard to shake. Rebounding was another key factor that shaped the outcome. The Warriors put up a decent fight on the boards, but there was a noticeable gap when it came to matching up with bigger opponents. Facing players like Ivica Zubac and Brook Lopez, Golden State struggled to find consistent size, particularly in critical moments when second-chance points made a huge difference. Al Horford and Quentin Post had time on the court, but it still wasn't enough to counter the strength and positioning of their rivals. This is an area that cannot be ignored moving forward. If the team wants to contend with the elite squads in the league, finding ways to bring more size and securing reliable rebounds must become a priority. Every missed rebound is a lost opportunity, and against teams with skilled big men, those lost chances quickly add up. Another talking point from the game was the decision to sit Jonathan Kuminga once again. Watching a young player remain on the bench can be frustrating, especially when you consider the potential impact he could bring if given consistent minutes. His development depends on real game experience, and with the trade deadline approaching, every opportunity to integrate him into the rotation matters. It's about finding the right lineups where he can complement Steph Curry and others while contributing to spacing and scoring. The Warriors need his versatility, his athleticism, and his ability to stretch defenses, and the sooner he's incorporated, the better the team can evaluate his role in the bigger picture. Buddy Hield also found himself on the sidelines, which raises questions about how the team is balancing its roster. He is one of the league's premier three-point shooters, and in a season where Curry's shooting has dipped below his usual standards, every chance to take pressure off him matters. Hield can create opportunities, open driving lanes, and provide that extra dimension the Warriors need when their primary scorer isn't firing at his peak. Relying too heavily on a single player to carry the offensive load is risky, especially in tight games where every possession counts. Incorporating shooters like him strategically could shift the outcome in future matchups, and it's something the coaching staff will need to weigh carefully. Coach Steve Kerr's presence on the sidelines continues to be a source of inspiration, even when moments of frustration emerge. His ejection during the game reflected the passion and fire that he brings to the team. It wasn't just about a single call or a referee's decision. It was a signal to the players that every play matters and that the intensity must be matched with accountability. Even as the league evolves and teams adopt more mid-range or versatile offensive strategies, Kerr's emphasis on pace, three-point shooting, and defensive accountability remains at the core of the Warriors' identity. While there are growing pains and moments that raise questions, his leadership provides a framework that can still carry this team through difficult stretches. The three-point shooting in this game was a mixed bag. Golden State launched nearly half of their attempt from beyond the arc, but the conversion rate hovered around 24%, which is far below what the team needs to sustain high-level performance. This over-reliance on perimeter shots, particularly when the accuracy isn't there, highlights the need for offensive diversification. Moving inside, drawing fouls, and attacking the rim are just as crucial, especially when facing teams that can dominate the glass and contest long-range shots effectively. The Warriors shot well from the free throw line, showing they can capitalize on opportunities when they get there, but they need to increase the volume of attempts to create more consistent scoring pressure and to draw opposing teams into foul trouble. Offensive rebounds are another area that could have dramatically changed the game's outcome. Small differences in second-chance opportunities can quickly translate into significant shifts in the scoreboard. And in this matchup, the Clippers had just enough extra chances to edge out the Warriors. If Golden State could have added even a handful of offensive boards, it's easy to imagine the difference it could have made. That's why targeting size and physical presence in the paint, whether through trades or internal adjustments, is not just a preference, it's a necessity. Without securing those extra opportunities, games like this will continue to slip away, regardless of how well the team executes in other areas. The Warriors' ability to mount comebacks is undeniable, but turning those efforts into victories in close games has been inconsistent. With a record that struggles in tight matchups, the need to finish strong in the clutch has never been more urgent. Even if the roster is bolstered with additional talent at the trade deadline, learning to close games effectively and maintain focus during critical stretches is essential for any championship aspirations. Past disappointments serve as reminders that talent alone isn't enough. Execution, decision-making, and composure under pressure are equally vital. As the season moves forward, Golden State fans will be looking closely at how the coaching staff adjusts rotations, manages minutes for young players like Kuminga, and balances the scoring load. Every game provides data, insight, and lessons that can shape future strategies. And while this particular matchup ended in frustration, it also highlighted areas of potential growth. From three-point accuracy to rebounding and roster utilization, each aspect of the game offers opportunities for refinement, and the team's ability to learn and adapt will define the rest of the season. Picking up from where we left off, one of the key things that continues to stand out for the Warriors is how the team handles defensive matchups against bigger opponents. The game against the Clippers was a perfect example of the challenges they face when size becomes a factor. While Golden State has skilled defenders and versatile wings, there's a limit to how effectively they can contest shots or box out players like Zubac and Lopez without adequate size in the paint. Al Horford provides experience and positioning, and Quentin Post brings energy, but neither can fully replace the consistent presence of a dominant big man who can control the boards on both ends. This gap is more than just a stat line. It directly impacts second-chance points, transition opportunities, and even the team's confidence when entering crucial possessions late in games. Another element that keeps surfacing is the importance of smart offensive spacing. When Steph Curry has the ball, defenses collapse, and the Warriors rely heavily on shooters moving without the ball to open lanes. But when secondary shooters aren't consistently hitting shots, defenses can afford to crowd the paint and limit driving angles, which stifles the flow of the offense. Players like Buddy Hield are built to provide that relief, creating passing windows and drawing defenders out. Sitting him in key games creates a vacuum where Curry becomes the sole option, increasing pressure and reducing efficiency. Curry is still capable of making extraordinary plays, but the team needs a broader supporting cast to prevent opponents from predicting and neutralizing their offensive strategy. Free throw opportunities are another piece of the puzzle that the Warriors can improve. They shot well in this game, converting a high percentage of attempts, but the volume wasn't enough to maximize scoring potential and apply consistent pressure on the opposition. Drawing fouls not only adds points, but also puts key defenders in foul trouble, which can shift momentum in tight contests. The league is full of examples where strong free throw games swing entire matchups, and Golden State has the talent to exploit that, but hasn't fully incorporated it into their approach. Learning to attack the basket aggressively while balancing perimeter shooting could provide a dual threat that makes the team harder to defend, particularly in clutch moments. Turnovers may have been limited in number, but the Warriors still left scoring opportunities on the table, highlighting the fine line between discipline and missed chances. In high-pressure situations, converting every opportunity matters, and in games decided by a single basket, that attention to detail can be the difference between victory and frustration. Developing a mindset where every possession counts and every transition is capitalized upon is essential for a team that aspires to compete at the championship level. The comeback against the Clippers showed resilience, but converting that determination into a win is the next step, and it's a step that requires consistent execution from all 5 players on the court. Looking deeper at player development, Jonathan Kuminga's limited minutes remain a critical conversation. Young players need rhythm and confidence, and without consistent playing time, it's difficult to evaluate their true impact or integrate them effectively into team strategies. The upcoming trade window adds urgency, as the team needs clarity on his role and potential. Whether it's working alongside Curry, complementing three-point shooters, or fitting into small ball lineups with Post and Horford, finding the right combination is key. The Warriors have the talent on the roster to make these lineups effective, but experimenting with rotations and giving young players meaningful minutes will be essential in discovering what works best before the postseason approaches. Coach Kerr's intensity, while sometimes resulting in emotional moments like ejections, speaks to the broader culture he's trying to instill. He's demanding, he's passionate, and he's not willing to accept complacency. That energy can ignite the team, inspire players to push beyond their limits, and enforce accountability. Despite criticisms about over-reliance on the three-point shot or underutilizing certain big men, his vision for the team remains clear: fast-paced offense, ball movement, and defensive versatility. These principles have won championships in the past, and with proper adjustments, they can still carry the Warriors through another deep playoff run. The key is balancing that philosophy with practical adaptations to address the current roster's strengths and weaknesses. Offensively, spacing and shot selection remain central to the discussion. Shooting nearly half of your attempts from beyond the arc without the efficiency to back it up is a clear concern. The Warriors' talent allows them to stretch defenses, but relying too heavily on low-percentage shots creates vulnerability, especially against teams that dominate rebounds or contest every perimeter attempt. Moving the ball inside, taking mid-range opportunities when available, and exploiting mismatches in the paint can diversify scoring and keep opponents guessing. It's a delicate balance between maintaining identity as a three-point-oriented team and adjusting to the realities of the roster and opponent strengths. The rebounding battle in this game also highlighted a strategic gap. While the Warriors collectively gathered a significant number of boards, no single player consistently dominated on the glass. In contrast, the Clippers benefited from multiple players hitting double-digit rebounds, giving them extra possessions and opportunities for second-chance points. This imbalance is critical in close games, as each rebound translates to potential scoring, momentum swings, and control over tempo. Golden State has to find ways to generate these extra possessions, either through personnel moves or tactical adjustments, to compete with elite teams that excel in this area. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Dubs updates. Let's keep going. Whispers are starting to circulate around the NBA, and one name that's suddenly at the center of trade speculation is Draymond Green. Sources suggest that the Golden State Warriors have received an intriguing offer that could shake up the roster, and the three-time All-Star forward is reportedly part of the conversation. While nothing is finalized, insiders indicate that Golden State's front office is actively listening and weighing options, signaling a potential shift in the team's core strategy. Draymond, known for his defensive prowess, playmaking, and fiery leadership, has been a cornerstone of the Warriors' dynasty. Yet, even a player of his caliber isn't immune to the business side of basketball. Those familiar with the situation hint that the Warriors are exploring scenarios that could bring in young talent, draft assets, or salary flexibility, all while maintaining competitiveness in a Western Conference that continues to evolve. What makes this story particularly captivating is the dual role Draymond might play in any trade discussions. Not only is he a potential piece to move, but his input seems to matter to the front office, something rarely acknowledged publicly in trade talks. Sources suggest that the team has engaged in conversations with him directly, gauging his willingness and potential fit elsewhere, which adds an unusual layer of transparency to a usually secretive process. Speculation is already running wild among fans and analysts. Could the Warriors be looking to refresh their roster after years of a familiar core? Or is this simply a strategic negotiation, leveraging Draymond's value without any immediate intent to part ways? The possibilities are endless, and reactions on social media are already splitting between shock, support, and excitement for what could come next. One thing is clear. If the Warriors do decide to move Draymond, it won't just be a simple swap. His leadership, championship experience, and defensive IQ are rare commodities, making him one of the most intriguing trade assets in the league. Every team in the market for a high-impact veteran is likely watching closely, knowing that adding a player of his caliber could tilt the balance of power in their favor. For now, though, it remains firmly in the realm of rumor. But in a league that thrives on unpredictability, this could be the story that defines the offseason. Stay updated exclusively with the latest Dub Nation news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep getting daily updates on the Warriors. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your input is essential for the Dubs community. Stay tuned for the next video.